So, welcome back to another video. We're going to be continuing on making a Backrooms game. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start creating folders. The first folder is going to be called Levels, and then the next folder will be called Materials. Oh, I'm mistyping. Okay, there we go. And I've done it right. There we go. And then the next folder will be called Level Exits, and that will be for only if you want to do a non-linear level layout. You can also change the color of the folders from this to whatever. So I'm going to choose this greeny color, which I think is nice. And we are going to go to the file and we're going to create a new level. We're going to choose basic for our purposes of this tutorial. So we now have a small, well, not a small, but a pretty decently sized level to create the game in first level, and you can move around with WASD and Q and E to go up and down. And we're going to go into the modeling mode to change the width of these walls, and we're going to make the width 8000, depth 20 and height 500, so we have a pretty decently long wall and tall wall, and we will put that on the edge of the map. And then when you press accept, it will be there. I would recommend coming out of modeling mode so you can actually select it. And we're going to try and align it perfectly as much as we can. So as you can see, there's a little bit where like you can just, it's a smooth transition. And then we've done that here. Okay. And then we're going to move it over until we can get it both on the same side to make it perfectly aligned. There we go. Just like that. So we are going to press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V to copy and paste the wall, and we now have two of them. And we're going to do this to the other side. Once the other wall is perfect, then we're going to move it and make sure it's perfectly aligned like this, which honestly I'm quite surprised I've done that first try. Also, just to let you know, I'm doing this not at the same time as the current recording. I have to record the voice lines after for other reasons. Also, if you want to rotate it, you can use the E key to rotate it without using the details panel. R is also for scaling, and we are now going to align this wall to the perfect angle. And oh, I messed up here. Okay, so we're going to try and align it as perfect as possible. We want to make it like as good as possible, so like it's pretty much seamless, and like that you can now see it's seamless. It's a seamless transition if you're like essentially sliding your hand down a wall. That's what you want. And on the other side it is perfect as well, so that's good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to Control C and then Control V it. Perfect, like that. And then we're going to align it as much as we can. So we just want to align it a little bit more to the left. Little bit, there we go, perfectly seamless. So we now have our exterior walls, and we are going to create a material. We're going to make a new folder inside the materials for textures, and then we're also going to make a materials folder inside the materials folder. Yes, it's a bit confusing, but those are for the materials, such as the textures. The textures are for the images for the materials. So I've already got one downloaded. I named it Backrooms 00 wall, and as you can see, I've now saved it so it can stay in the project. And then you go to the materials folder, create a new material, M underscore for material, and then underscore, and level 0 wall, so you know what it is, just in case like you forget what you name it something pretty memorable, like level 0 wall or something similar to that, like level or wall level 0. And then you can press Control Space to open the content drawer, go into textures and drag it. And then if you use the RGBA thing and plug it into the base color, turn specular to 0 and roughness to 0, you'll make it as like seamless as possible. I would leave the MIP value mode at normal and the sampler source at wrap, so it doesn't stretch the texture. There will be a bug that is coming up that you may notice. I do not know that arrow did that until now. Yeah, so when we select all 4 of these boxes by shift clicking the top and bottom one, we can change all of them at once to give them the material, and you will see the bug any second now when I what's it called, there. As you can see here, the material texture is stretched due to the fact that this material texture is built for 500 by 500 or 1024 by 1024 in height and width. So that will be a bug that we can fix later on, but for right now this can remain like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one interior wall, and we're going to lower the width to 500. Click on it and type 500 or whatever you think is good, and we can place it. Once you click, you can place it and then press accept. Remember to press accept and then come out of modeling mode after, so you can make sure you don't do anything else. But honestly, right now this is a pretty good state for our game to be in. We have walls, but I'm pretty sure they do not have collision. But we're going to save the level into the levels folder, and we're going to name it level 0, or whatever level you are currently developing. For example, in this tutorial, level 0. So as you can see, we now have saved it at the top and it now says level 0. So just to check, go into the content drawer and check it's there, and it is. So that's amazing. Just make sure that it is there so you don't lose it when you close the project if you're going to. So that's a pretty good point to end the video at. Just to let you know, you can apply textures to everything all at once if you shift click them, and this is what we look like now. So we now have a UE5 mannequin, which is essentially what the player will look like if we just shipped it like this, which honestly wouldn't be a very good game, but I mean, it's the thought that counts. So, thank you for watching and goodbye!